right, team, how we doing? This is Coach Dana Cavalea coming at you with the Becoming a Champion show, where we are all about inspiration, motivation, and encouragement to move you along your high performance journey. And today, coming at you from Florida, it's a little bit cloudy out today, but it is warm. So it's nice to be out of the cold for a little bit. And I'm excited to be here with you today. And I have a special topic to go over today. And it's titled How to Speak Like a Champion, or How to Speak Like a Pro. And it has nothing to do with speaking in terms of you becoming a presenter or you becoming somebody that takes stages. You can if you want. But what it has to do with is you learning how to communicate with those around you. What you'll find today is that most people have no idea how to communicate. And you could reinforce this point by thinking about the last time somebody said, "Hey, how you doing?" And you probably responded and said, "Good. How are you?" And you have to ask yourself the question, were you really good and feeling really good at that time? And number two, did you really care how they were feeling? And oftentimes we'll find a divide there with just that simple interaction. But where do other examples of those kind of interactions happen? And they happen all the time, where one party doesn't really care what the other is experiencing or going through. So often they don't even ask or probe or dig in. But then the expectations of both parties are still quite strong. They expect a lot of the other person, yet there's these communication breakdowns that happen all over the place. And I wrote about this the other day in a blog, and I said, hey, how much money have companies spent and teams spent bringing in communication experts, trying to teach people how to communicate better? And what you'll find is a lot of these experts, they'll work on style, they'll work on technique, right? But are they actually working on the essence of communication? And that's a real question that we have to ask and we have to answer. And for me, I'm just trying to give a quick strategy here that you can use, and it's built around one word, right? And that one word is this: clarity. Clarity. I've been talking about this now for weeks. I've been on this clarity kick. And when you can think about communication from the standpoint of clarity, what is created? This is not a trick question. Clarity is created. So if you can create clarity for yourself, you will know what it is that you want. And if you could create clarity for another person, or the person you're engaging with or communicating with, or the team that you're communicating with, they will then know what they want, and they will also know what you want. So if they know what they want and they know what you want, now both parties are clear on what each party wants. And from there, you can grow. So the first step of this formula that I've put together, 3-step formula to speak and communicate like a champion. Nice title, nice buzzword, but it's really just about you being a better communicator, because that's what this show is about. It's about making you better through coaching, not just giving you theories, but making you better through coaching and giving you tactics and techniques. So first we get clear, right? We know what we want. So you have to take time. Preparation and communication go directly together. They live together. But how often do you hear about communication and preparation being married together? Not often. So to get clear, you have to know what you want, which means you have to actually spend time thinking about what it is that you want. You have to get the other party clear. How do you get other people clear? Well, you have to get them to think. And how do you get people to think? You get people to think by asking questions. Questions that are not yes, no, questions that require depth. I also say you have to get comfortable using the question behind the question, where you ask a question, they give an answer, which will usually be general, and then you go in and ask a specific question. And that specific question will get you more of a specific answer, but it will also get them a more specific answer and help them get more clear. So you get clear, they get clear, and then both parties get clear on what the next action steps will be. for both parties. So I'm clear, they're clear, which means we are clear. And then what are we going to do next? What are we going to do to advance this deal? What are we going to do to take action on X? What does it look like? Assign the job responsibility, assign the action step, and then get the next meetup scheduled. So everything is clear. There is no assumptions, because assumptions are dangerous, and there are very clear expectations. So when you think about the word communication, are we using the right word? Is it about communication, or is it more about clarity? And I will do another podcast, an episode on this, but I call them the 3 C's of performance: clarity, confidence, and conviction. But the bottom of that pyramid is clarity, and the top of the spear is conviction. And the only way you can get to the top of the spear and be convicted is if you're clear. So that's why we're working on this step today. We're talking about getting yourself clear, talking about getting those that you are working with super clear, and we're getting clear on the next action steps that will be taken by both parties. And when we do this, there's a great chance for victory. And there's also a great chance for there not to be this passive aggressive bullshit that goes on oftentimes in most companies, on most teams, in most families, because everything's clear. So you have to get clear. So today I want you to leave with a commitment and make a commitment to clarity. Help people get clear. And it's very easy to see when somebody is not clear on something, because they'll start to spin. They start to work in a circle, and they're not going to have conviction, right? Because they don't have clarity on what it is they do next. So they appear as confused. They appear as, there's no alpha spirit in them. So today I encourage you to help other people get clear. And in doing that, your life's going to be a lot easier. So again, whether you're in sales, whether you're in management, whether you're leading a sports team, whether you're leading a family, whatever it is, make sure everybody's clear on what it is that they want. Let them know what you want, and then put the action steps in place for what's next. And when we're going to reconvene to check on and make sure that we are still clear and we're still moving towards our goal. So clarity is everything, and clarity will determine whether you communicate well or whether you communicate poorly and create more confusion around what it is that you want and what it is that the other party wants. So communication could actually be a lot of fun also. It's a lot of fun when both parties are clear, because you know where you're going, why you're going there. They know why they're going, what they're doing. So it creates rhythm. It creates momentum. And rhythm and momentum and clarity, it all leads to victory over time. So if you want to win, you must become a great communicator. And it's hard to be a great communicator also when you're in your own head and you're thinking too much and you're overthinking and you're overanalyzing and you start focusing on all these peripheral points that don't matter. We call them sand. You start focusing on all this sand when you should be focused on these pillar rocks. Focus on those rocks, those main things that matter most. Get clear around those and stop focusing on all the peripherals. So get clear, help other people get clear, and get clear on the next action steps that will be taken by both parties. I hope I'm clear. You will find when I coach, and I'm doing it here, I'm repeating myself over and over and over again, but I'm bouncing between this 1, 2, 3 punch. Get clear, get them clear, get clear on the next action steps, because I want to reinforce through communication what it is that I want you to take away. So I'm actually utilizing the strategy that I want for you in this show, in this episode in particular. So you'll find, Coach, you're repeating yourself a lot. You always repeat yourself a lot. And when I speak to companies, when I speak to teams, I keep a center line thread through the whole talk that drives home oftentimes a key point. There may be other points, but they all support the midline and that key point. because I want you to leave being very clear about what it is that you should be doing, what it is that you need to do, and what it takes to win and to become a champion at what it is that you do and what it is that you want to achieve. So that's what today's all about. Communicate by getting clear. So are we thinking about communication, or are we really thinking about clarity? I think we're thinking about clarity. So that's what I want for everybody here. Think about clarity, get people clear, get yourself clear, make that a commitment, and hold your standards very, very high as it relates to this clarity and communication strategy that we're working on and working towards and working for. That's my message for you today. This is Coach Dana Cavalea. I hope you enjoyed today's message. For those of you that don't know, I have this new book out. There it is. It's called Habits of a Champion Team. It's a great book. The author did a great job, and it's inspirational and it's motivational, and it's written as a field guide. It's written as a guide to help you lead better. But it's not just about leading your team better. It's about leading yourself better. It's a formula to winning big in sports, life, and business. So I write very motivationally, but I also write very practically, because I want you to be clear on how to lead well, both yourself and others. And for those of you that aren't on my daily blog, head on over to danacavalea.com. Check that out. Get on the daily blog. It's a good one. I give you 30 to 60 seconds, Monday through Friday, just a touch up to make you think differently. Oftentimes, we're immersed around the same people, the same environments, day in and day out, and we start to get stale in how we think. So I want to give you touch points, coaching touch points every day to develop you into becoming who it is you want to be and becoming a champion over time. So head on over to Dana Cavalea for that, and I will see you next week with another episode of the Becoming a Champion show. See ya.